friend Alyssa. She's in my visual thinking class. Let me see.
Yessie, you mentioned you were a VCD major. While I was walking around in my hometown, I noticed a bunch of graffiti covering street art, which made me want to find out the history behind graffiti. Did you know it dates back to the Greek and Roman empires? But I can't see that characterized as graffiti. I know that Keith Haring and Jean-Michel Basquiat are considered graffiti artists from the 60s and 70s. I was seeing their work, and I think their graffiti art style has great movement on the 2D canvas, like a subway slate meant for advertising and on buildings. There's really nothing else like it. Well, nice to talk to you. Hope to hear back from you soon.
Nice talking to you. Hope to hear back soon. Huh. So my friend Alyssa says that graffiti is like nothing else, but she's a chem major. She doesn't know any better. You know what? I'm gonna school her on a little thing called street art. That's what I'm gonna do. My dearest Alyssa. Hey girl. So I'm liking that you're taking an interest into graffiti, but I think you were a bit wrong saying there isn't anything else like it. Have you heard of something called street art? Street art basically evolved from graffiti and is truly amazing. Graffiti artists like Keith Haring and Jean-Michel Basquiat inspired street artists. Specifically, there's this one dude named Banksy, for example. So he is so great. He is an unknown artist from Bristol, England, who started as a graffiti artist in the Drybreads crew in 1990. He made the switch to street art in 2000. But yeah, if you want to talk about real art, let's talk street art, because that's
Delivery. She really thinks that? Dear Yessie, let's talk about some real art. The Ska Graffiti Crew's purpose was to show their loyalty to their newfound families. Ska stands for Still Kicking Ass. Their art was mostly depicting their name, but had movement within their graffiti type style that moves the eyes. The colors are scattered and bright, but on purpose because they wanted to create chaos. Not like some boring street artist who now has his artwork in museums. Later.
Oh, so you want to talk chaos? All right, cool. Let's talk chaos then. Banksy has this piece called Can't Beat That Feeling, also known as Napalm. He created in 2004. Napalm is unique in that the original is black and white, but Banksy also has many color variations ranging from yellow, pink and yellow gradient, and even a blood splatter version, all using his unique style. It's not your typical street art that's done on the side of a building. Fine, I'll give you that one, you're right. But Banksy's strata of choice for this is a screen print image on canvas, and the tools he used to execute his artwork were spray paint and stencils. Banksy's message is deeper than just quote, quote, newfound families. With Napalm Girl, he uses the two most recognizable American icons, Mickey Mouse and Ronald McDonald, that are literally gripping onto a girl's wrist. This girl's name is Phan Thi Kim Phuc. She is Napalm Girl. So Napalm Girl is actually from a photo that was taken by photographer Nick Ut, who was working for the Associated Press at the time. In 1972, Nick Ut and Phan Thi Kim Phuc were in North Vietnam during a napalm attack that occurred during the Vietnam War. After the photo was taken, Nick Ut rushed Phan Thi Kim Phuc along with several others in his car to a local hospital, where she actually survived. Banksy uses this strong image of the young girl paired with these two childhood figures that depict the grip that consumerism and capitalism has on not only adults, but even more so on children. Girl, just face it, graffiti and street art have nothing in common because you know why? Street art is better.
So it's odd to compare somebody that's distinctly London versus somebody that's distinctly Southern Californian, um, or a group of people. And it's also one person versus a group of people, although there's theories that Banksy's multiple people. And Banksy certainly has a street team, which I guess is its own sort of element in the act of occupying space that isn't necessarily yours, and interacting with the city that you live in a way that's far more intimate than most people will ever experience it. And that's the purest form of graffiti. You look at interviews like I watched an interview recently with a gentleman named Earsnot, which is kind of an unfortunate name, and he's a really large graffiti writer from New York City, who's very adamant about like nothing matters but a tag. Anything above a tag just becomes sort of masturbatory, and you might as well just get a coloring book at that point. Whereas a tag has every element that you want, and the most important one being how do you occupy a space that you live in, and how do you make a community yours, and how do you, and not yours is in the cliche of like gang stuff or whatever, but like how does one person navigate any environment in a way that sort of demarcates that they're there and they're a part of that community for better or worse. But whatever, it's far more interesting to me than art in general, and I don't think it needs to have any artistic merit to be worth consideration because it becomes as much exercise in sociology as it does in art. And it existed for decades, and it continues to exist, and it's fine, and it's its own thing. It's quite comfortable, and it doesn't really need to evolve. Well, but it did, in particularly in Philadelphia and New York with the advent of bubble letters, which later became referred to as throw-ups or toss-ups. It started to get more intricate because the amount of tags that were there were hard to delineate one from the other, so a throw-up would go over a tag. And that kind of became like the first rule of graffiti. Tags can go over where they want, throw-ups go over tags. I don't know. At a certain point, it becomes as much as a performative art piece than it does like the all the vegan stuff he did in New York. I mean, that was kind of neat. I mean, it's all kind of neat. It's kind of how I look at it. The act of writing graffiti though is, I don't know, it's as much a ritual or a compulsion than art, and that has a lot of appeal to me. I really like how an individual can occupy so much of a city. Parallel strokes between street art and graffiti. I guess it really depends on where you would want to, what kind of graffiti you'd want to focus on. Like, parallel strokes between street art and gang graffiti is almost none. Moniker, almost none. Tags, none. Throw ups, maybe a little. Pieces, you're starting to blur, and then your productions, yeah, there's tons. I mean, street art's very approachable and is very enjoyable to people that aren't interested or motivated to learn about graffiti. And graffiti is clearly unethical, or at least antisocial, but it's so much more enjoyable.
It's been a while since I've seen or heard from Yessi. You know what? I should call her. Serious? Oh my god. You're gonna treat me like this? What, just because I'm a chem major I can't know anything? That is so disrespectful. You know what? I'll see you in person.
Oh, this girl. Hello. How are you still even arguing with me about this? Did you not see the Napalm girl picture I sent you that Banksy did? Me. And you still weren't impressed? Okay. But like, look at the picture I sent you. Banksy uses only 3 colors: yellow, white, and black. That's it for this 2D image on canvas. And he still is managed to add so much detail in Napalm Girl alone. You can see the anguish and fear in her face. Okay, what about Mickey and Ronald only having yellow and Napalm Girl not having yellow? Signifying that Mickey and Ronald are happy and fun and bright colored and everything's gonna be okay. Whereas Napalm Girl only is in black and white. So it's very contrasting views. Mickey and Ronald are happiest place on earth and I'm loving it and Happy Meals. Whereas Napalm Girl is literally in fear and in anguish and even probably thinking she might die because of the situation she's in and the fearful environment. Did that not impress you? Okay. What about even the symbolism that this was created also around the time of the Iraq War? This was created around the Iraq War. Also, another layer to this picture is that Banksy was saying that the wars or consumerism or the children don't matter to them, that they're just getting dragged along by the wrist. Literally in the picture, they are gripping onto her wrist with smiles on their faces, not caring at all about the child, not caring at all about Napalm Girl. They are literally gripping her wrist, leading her in a direction that we don't know. She probably doesn't even know in the image that Banksy was depicting. What about that? Girl, like, come on. Oh no. I gotta go see her in person. Oh my god, I swear to god, I need to talk to this girl instead of she does not know what she's. Oh my gosh. Oh, hi Jacob.
Hi, what's up?
Oh my god, have you seen Alyssa?
No, wait, no.
I need to talk to her because I swear she's talking crazy. Like, it's wild. Like, you wouldn't believe it.
Wait, about what?
She's saying that graffiti is better than street art and Banksy. Like, right?
Wait, why are you fighting about this in the first place?
Because it doesn't make sense. That's so dumb. Street art is, like, better than graffiti.
Haven't you seen what they did in LA, the abandoned building of everyone coming together?
I did.
So why are you fighting with this?
I think you're right. Have you seen her? Have you seen Alyssa
Oh,
anywhere? Oh,
no, but she just texted me. She's at the science building.
oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem.
Thinks just because I'm a chem major and she's an art major.
Alyssa!
Oh my god, you should hear this argument that I'm having with Yessi.
Oh god.
She thinks that Banksy is better than the ska graffiti crew. Who is she?
They're literally the same.
How? What do you mean?
Banksy came from a street crew.
Oh my god, I think I did read about that somewhere. It makes so much more sense now. Thanks, Lily. Can we go find her?
The hair had to come out.
No.
Okay.
Hi. Oh, hey. You go.
I guess I'm sorry. Banksy is pretty cool, especially like how no one knows who he is.
Right? And like same thing with Ska Graffiti Crew. No one knows who they are. And their colors.
Their
Like the
color is amazing.
right?
And
Like
the chaos that comes from it.
that both of them do. Oh, it's like it's so great. Like
Yeah.
why are we fighting?
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.